going on, Bolt? I love you, man. I'm good, man. How are you doing? What's going on, Maestro? How you doing? Good to hear. You're okay? Well, okay is better than bad. We have to look at it that way. Hey, Sean. What's up, Creepa? We're gonna talk about some oddballs and some error cards here. I just woke up from a really nice nap. MTG Arena. I have toiled many hours playing MTG, both in physical form and on the computer and my phone. I used to have one of the nastiest black and white decks on planet Earth that was all about attrition. It was about taking as many cards out of your hand as possible, and in some cases making you choose what cards you have to discard from your master plan. It was brutal and ruthless. And then to make things worse, I just set up flying walls. And then I would bless those walls with lifesteal. I was in Hearthstone when Hearthstone first came out. I just after the Kickstarter, just after the Kickstarter happened, and I loved the first couple of sets, and then they started getting into the set with the was it the octopus or the squid or whatever it was. At that point, I was like, I'm out. No, I'm good. Blue with so control deck. Blue, splash of red for offense. I've always dug black and white. I liked the attrition and the healing aspect of it. So even if you managed to get a couple of cards out, I was going to block and heal and just wait for you to time out. Fireball, lightning strike, you don't need any other two. Maybe a couple of flash imps. The longest running TCG I'm playing currently is Urban Rivals. I've been playing that since 2011. Unfortunately, the marketplace and the monetary system inside the game is broken. But the gameplay is still easy, straightforward. You have to be good at math, but not great. I like it. I'll throw it on every once in a while, play a couple hands, and then get frustrated and leave. Oh, excuse me. I tell you, one of the best TCGs on mobile, I don't know if it's on anything else. It's called Onmyoji. 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 That game is very difficult to master, very easy to learn. And it's not pay to win. As a matter of fact, you can't pay to win because you can only randomly get the cards. You can't just buy single individual cards. You can only buy color variants of them, which is awesome. I hate pay-to-wins. Magic the Gathering, the actual physical card game, became pay-to-win when they started switching out decks every 6 months or whatever it is. And they purposely would make 4 or 5 OP cards every set that if you own those cards, you could control the series. So I actually left Magic the Gathering when I was seeing it become a pay to win, and they weren't nerfing anything. They weren't going back and fixing any of the damaged cards. Whereas a lot of other things like Hero Clicks, they're constantly nerfing stuff. I have about I don't know, 30 cards to look at of varying levels of interest. Some errors, some oddballs, some reminders of what cards looked like in the past. So today is about oddballs, errors, and some of the cards of yesteryears, where I managed to find some cards that are throwbacks to current sets that are out, but look substantially different than what they used to. Bolts, one thing I've learned in life is we're all oddballs. None of us are normal. The most normal person is probably the biggest oddball. What's going on, Panda? How are you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. Normal is on a wash, that's right. And a dishwasher, too. All right, so without any further ado, um, let's get into a couple of different things here. The probably should have organized these a little bit better. Man, listen, it's great to see you, Panda. Thanks for stopping by. Let me now that I realize I'm staring at this conglomerate, this is what we're gonna deal with today. About that many examples. Ooh, that one is very interesting. I'm pulling the errors first. Okay. Excuse me. So I'm trying out my two new lighting rigs and trying out the other camera and an alternate view for everybody. So feedback will be great. Bum bum bum. All right, so hot. That's it. So many people really want to see that hot tub. So many people are just all in for the hot tub. And by the way, I it feels familiar, does it? Yeah, yeah. Hmm. I wonder why. Oh, by the way, for those who are listening with headphones, yes, I did fix. What's up, Dame? How you doing, Baw? Oh man, there's a blast from the past. Welcome aboard. Um, so for those who don't know, Damon is the Greek. If you remember from my last employee, that's the Greek, everybody. Now you know by seeing his name exactly why he calls himself the Greek. I am glad you tracked me down as well. I would love to recruit people from my old channel, but obviously legally I can't. Yeah, well, maybe in the future you're going to see that, Maestro. Maybe in the near future you'll see something like that. Or a website that I'd direct you to that has lists of things like that. That's may or may not be in the finishing stages. I don't know. All right. The first thing I want to do is I want to start with a couple of oddballs. I want to start off with things that are different, things you don't see every day. And in my opinion, a card that I have nicknamed the Cursed card. This card came into my collection, I don't know when. I can tell you it was sometime after 2011. Carol, how are you doing? This comes from Panini. Panini Americana. It's numbered out of $4.99. Now, all of these cards are going to be in top loaders, so you are going to have to deal with just a little bit of reflection. I'm not going to take most of these out. A couple of them I am. This one I'm not. So a lot of people know the legend of James Dean and his short-lived life and his accident while speeding in his Porsche. His Porsche's name, by the way, was the Little Bastard. Not joking, Little Bastard. So he was in Rebel Without a Cause, very classic movie. A lot of people are familiar with it. Fantastic, iconic performance. On the bottom of the movie poster, yeah, it is. That's me from high school. I might have looked a little bit different. I might have had a black trench coat and long black spiked hair. At the bottom, you'll take a look and you'll see co-starring Natalie Wood and Sal Mineo. Now, James Dean had a tragic death. So did Natalie Wood and Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo was murdered. He was knifed. He was stabbed to death. There are a couple of versions of what happened. Some believe it was about his sexuality. Some believe it had something to do with drugs. I'm going to lean towards the first notion, because that seems to be the one that's most corroborated. And Natalie Wood drowned, although only, I think, 2 or 3 people in the entire world know exactly how she drowned. Both very famous people, one of them extremely famous person, who I do impressions of quite frequently, who I won't name for fear of me being murdered. This card is actually a dual swatch card from Natalie and Sal. It looks like a piece of either Natalie's scarf or gloves or legging, because it's very thin fabric, and that looks like one of Sal's coats. A nice tweed in there. It's out of $4.99. And what drew me to it was, is our, I guess, giant James Dean fan. Huge fan. He has a couple of life quotes that I live by. The first quote, which I have hanging on the wall in my house somewhere, is, "Dream as if you'll live forever, but live as if you'll die today." That is one of the quotes that fueled me to have all the experiences I had in life and to come up with all the stories that I had in life. So that is what I like to call the cursed card, because basically everybody associated with the card, the photos, the swatches, all those people met their untimely demise. So I qualify that under my oddball. Oh, and Sean, by the way, I cleaned my nails for you, buddy. I know you're very critical on my manicure. So that is one of my oddball cursed cards. Another oddball comes from, I believe, 1997. Let me take a look to get that answer. Yep. There you go, Johnny Hodge. You get it. You understand then. So, for a very brief time, the thought was action cards. This is a lenticular, but it is such a faceted lenticular that it has like almost 2 full scenes of running in it. By today's standard, this is a phenomenal lenticular. Yeah, it only goes one way. Oh, I do have some old school holograms. I mean, he gets a solid 3 steps in there. They don't make them like that. It's also super thick. So the lenticulars were in the 70s something that they thought, hey, we can make cards like this. What they didn't realize is how ridiculously expensive that was to do. The company made this is Motion Vision, aka Movi. And you bought the cards in basically things that look like CD packs, little mini CD packs. It was a partnership with Kodak, as you can see. And this is actually Antoine Smith's Rookie, the LDR. This was a limited edition, and it's funny. I received it in some random grab bag, sealed. And lo and behold, when I opened it, when I cut the seal, this would have been one of the winners. It had a redemption for 1998 in it. Kids Bop CD. Oh, man. Oh, my son likes Kids Bop. So that is another oddball. Another oddball is something that you've all seen before. But I also wanted to show that I did indeed had one. And I wasn't joking. And that would be the Jack Eichel out of 5,000. 2017 Upper Deck silver coin. From Grandeur. Because those are just cool. Future New York Ranger, possibly future New York Islander, I hear. Where do I get most of my stuff? Oh, I got my stuff over the years. Anywhere. Lots and lots and lots of card shows, just trading. Hey, what's going on, Mario? Yeah, man, you found me. You have found me. What's going on, dude? How are you doing? I do this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And by the way, tomorrow, pajama party. Anybody who joins and puts a picture up on the Discord or YouTube, or not YouTube, excuse me, or Instagram, dressed in their jammies watching the show is going to enter into win a little gift box of different oddball things that some people will like and other people will just understand that they're cool. So tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, pajama party. All right, so let's get into, before we touch on some of the errors, let's get into some old school cards. Some cards from the wax era, excuse me. and the way things used to look. Oh, dude, don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it at all. Trust me, you didn't miss much from the last 2 weeks. So, this is when I was still collecting. This would have been, I believe, 1991. 1991. The peak of the wax crap mass-produced cards. Score came out with a line of cards that was supposed to be the next gen of card security to prevent the copying and manufacture of cards. That line was known as Pinnacle. Now, Pinnacle was supposed to have an inherent security piece to it. And on the back of the card, at the bottom, you see that blurry little line. They would give you special little filters, and the filter, when placed over the card, would say the word Pinnacle, so that you knew that, Pinnacle Hockey was famous for the Eric Lindros card, and all of their cards look the exact same. So they thought, hey, Upper Deck has the little mini hologram. We are going to make our own little security thing. And there it is, a little blur on the bottom. Ultimately, back in the day, Pinnacle was a great card. Usually the cuts were good. The corners were always doo-doo, just from the process. But Pinnacle was actually made by Score. One very popular set, something that I always decry as a good time when it comes to football, was Playbook. Now, what is Playbook known for? um, so Playbook is known for its booklets. Now, back in the day, yes, that is true. So in 1997, this is what a Playbook card would have looked like. And no, there were no actual book cards, at least not at that point, and at least not popular or to the thickness that they are now. But that's what an old school playbook is. Now, speaking of book cards, they did exist, but in a form much different than we're used to. This was made by Pacific, 1995 Pacific. So this was one of their inserts, and this was. Now I know they did this in baseball. They were what they called the tall boys, and in football they had some tall boys that were also folded and found in packs. But this one opened up into 3 panels, and this was a standard insert for Pacific at the time. Went to high school. Nice. Yep. There he is, your old high school buddy. Cards have come a very long way. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. (2011) or excuse me, 2014 TriStar Obek. If you want A great video about Obek. Go to Trevor's Baseball Cards. Trevor's Baseball Cards, they unearthed a few boxes from Doug's warehouse of awesome. But this is an example of one of the old minis, kind of the old tobacco card style cards. He has a better video that goes into more in depth about the Obek legacy. Topps Chrome, way back when Topps did football. 2006. Now, we're getting to what would be considered a really nice stock card. The embossed foil, slightly more thick than your standard. But Topps Chrome stays pretty much the same. It's one thing that hasn't changed too much. They definitely made the backs of the card look better, though. Select. Select is also, it was a score product. So that is what old school Select looks like. Far cry from what you see today. And if you notice on the back, lower right-hand corner, Pinnacle. So you can imagine part of the issue with all of these 90s things. What's going on, Derek? Oh, thanks, bud. Yeah. So back in the day, one of the problems with what happened in the late 80s and early 90s and mid 90s with cards is all of the card companies were producing 15, 16, 17 different types of sets, and they were mass producing them. There was no rarity to them at all. They just put them out as fast as they can and basically diluted everything. Here's what Fleer Ultra was like back then as well. Now, I actually have always been a fan of the Fleer Ultra. Everything about Fleer Ultra was awesome. They were one of the few that would actually foil the front and the back. So I do have quite a few of these. Not worth anything because it's from the garbage era of cards. But these were actually pretty quality. Nobody was bothering with foil on both sides and stamping on both sides. That was, I mean, I'm not going to say expensive because it was still only like a couple of pennies each side or a penny each side. But it was a lot more expensive than some of the cards that were being put out then. Oh, excellent, Derek. Good, good. And then early die cuts. Now, I know die cuts have been around forever. You can actually find die cuts in a lot of the old baseball stuff. It's not new by any turn of the imagination. But in 2002, Pacific had a line called Atomic. Atomics are just awesome. They had a chrome look to them. They had the die cut logo. They made them in hockey and they made them in football. Don't know if they made them in any other sport. Very sharp looking cards. Very different. And it's funny, they managed to make these with all of the corners being great, with the edges being great. And cards today seem to have issues die cutting because it's like they're taking the process and making it too quick. Now, die cutting and adding holograms and things along those lines are only a fraction of some of the different things that they tried to do. In 1994, Edge, Collector's Edge. Is it Ricky Williams scented? No, that one's not. Yeah, Pacific actually was a really great company. Collector's Edge. This was called the Edge Effects. And Edge Effects had Edge, I believe, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Different levels of of card. Now, one thing you'll notice about this, it's one of the early Lucite cards. So they were really experimenting with the medium that was being used for production. And this was a popular insert set. At the time, had a pretty good resale value. So Lucite has been around a lot longer than you think. Now, this one's modern. This is from Black Gold, just to show some of the ridiculous things that they're capable of doing. And Black Gold probably is the one that perfected the ability to embed large objects by using a lucite front, a standard stock back, and then a harder lucite, or excuse me, stock middle, and then a lucite back. That's absolutely true, Sean. Not everybody can be Sean. Sean puts maximum effort into it. What's going on, Doug? How are you doing, man? And they also did a lot of really interesting things. So, Playoff. I know you remember Playoff. Yeah, that's right, Doug. You're correct. Breaks it home with teeth. This is a little better quality. Not by much. So, Playoff, also marquee. This is, I believe, 96 Playoff. They experimented with the textures. And these are actually felt front cards. And then, hey, if you're going to put felt on there, let's put different colored felt on there. Oh, thanks, bud. I do what I can to try to impress. But that, believe it or not, is what Playoff used to look like. So some good stuff there. Topps Finest that had such a high gloss finish that they actually would put a protective coating on them, which most children immediately removed to show the amazing finish that was on them. Well, I was not one of those kids that would remove it. Oh yeah, it would just bleed everywhere probably. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Dave Stevens, videographer and photographer to the stars. And then throwback cards like Gowdy and this beautiful little Ray Lewis rookie. Just because they don't want you to have a top loader that properly fits it. It's the only reason they came out with that set. I actually asked them, I was like, hey, why are the cards so small? They said, we want to frustrate you. I said, great, thank you, you have. Now get out of my house. Why are you here? And then we can get really weird. 2001 impressions. And I'm going to take this one out. So some people are going to be familiar with 2001 impressions. Some are not going to be familiar. For those who are familiar, you're not going to panic when I do what I'm about to do. For those who don't know what this is probably going to cause you a mild heart attack, so be careful. So this was the 2001 impressions. The really cool thing about 2001 impressions is it was a canvas card. I know some people clutched their heart. But the impression set was actually printed on real canvas, not fake canvas. Like some of them are meant to look like canvas now. These are actual, real canvas cards. which gave way to some more recent sets like Star Wars, where this is a felt sticker. By the way, hello, James. See, I'm not familiar with the 50 felt sets, Doug. You'll have to show me one. No, Derek, it's whatever. You should probably pull the crowd. Guys, what do you think? Are we better on Twitch or YouTube? I know Twitch gets the chat about 3 seconds faster than YouTube, or 4 seconds faster than YouTube. But I believe the feed, the actual video, isn't delayed on either. There you go. Watch in Twitch, chat on YouTube. So let's get to the errors. Some of these are flagrant. Some of these are manufacturing. Some of these are just odd. Thank you, Doug. So let's start with some of the obvious ones. Some of the ones that most people have seen in their life. The miscuts. How something like this would get past somebody. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. Garbage era. Good old pro set. However, take a look at the back. That's odd. So you, Sean, you would know the answer to this. There's a name for it. If the front is offset and the back is correct. So Sean is going to give us the technical term. I believe it's snafu. Yeah, that's right. So limit, yeah, foobar. That's it. Foobar. That's the official term. Foobar. So Dane, yeah, so they did make some pro set hockey, but it was just for the exclusive autographs. There's not a full set out. They're just making promos in the old school. So this one I did hang on to because it wasn't a actual miscut. It was a misprint. So that has been in there. And don't get me wrong, Randall McDaniel, absolute monster too, bit of a mauler. That's where we're going to start. Now, everybody remembers Upper Deck. This was one of Upper Deck's inserts. The NFL's fastest man at the time was Darryl Green. Shout out to the Washington football team. This was a short print. This was only found, I believe it was 1 in 4 boxes. So you would have to spend a solid $25 worth of boxes today to find this. But it is one of the short print cards that was, as you can see, SP1. One of the first ones that they were, at the time, first ones Upper Deck had decided to go full short print. That didn't involve a trophy. And some of you know the reference to the trophy one. Now, the reason I pulled this particular card is I want you to take a look at the back, which is this right here. All right, take care, Doug. We have a hologram. The hologram says Upper Deck, with the upper and the deck in opposite directions. That was supposed to be the original, hey, you can't copy this card. Look at us, Tops. Look at us, Bowman. You can't make copies of our card because we have this hologram, which is very expensive to duplicate. Because back then it was. But there became a problem with the hologram. The hologram would do some really weird stuff. I'll let my good friend Icky Woods tell you. Now, I'm not an expert, but I don't believe the hologram is in the right spot. And I think yeah, can confirm that's 2. This was not an isolated incident. It's a fake one. That's right. That's right. They spent double the money. This is not an imp, by the way. Icky shuffle all day. Icky shuffle all day. Just a bit outside. My good friend Johnny Elway can tell you about that as well. I love that they almost got the football on the football. If they would have got the football on the football, I would have to say this is a $1,000 card because I wouldn't give it up. But now you're getting into the stats. Now you're crushing the stats. Now you're making the stat masters mad. I'm sure everybody remembers Mike Saxon, world-class punter. He also got stuck with double authentication. You could argue he's the most famous 4 in the history of Dallas. I'm just kidding. I love you, Dak. And then you know what? Hey, let's not put a hologram on there at all. Let's completely miss the card. What's going on, Trevor? I do have cards. This Neon Dion, they didn't have the common courtesy to put one on there. So you'd think with how famous Deion Sanders was that maybe Mike Saxon would give him one of his holograms. Occasionally, a new card company would put out some cards, and they wouldn't get past the demo stage. That's there you go. I like it. Oh yeah. Absolutely, Trevor. I don't have the 1989 Billy Ripken. I did at one point in my life, and my dad made me get rid of it because it had a swear word on it. This is one of the most ridiculous looking cards ever made. First of all, it's Warren Sapp. Franchise rookies with the $sign on it. But if you look at the bottom, in quotes, it says sample. This horror show, this absolute horror show of a card. I mean, this is one of the few cards that you look at and it actually can cause vertigo. This Warren Sapp rookie. There were so many people trying to get into the card game. So many people trying to design and create cards in the late 80s and especially the early and mid 90s that absolute cardboard vomit like this was what was occurring. And as you can see, they didn't even get past the promo area, and the samples made it out into the wild. Give or 10 cents, yeah, it's about it. So this is actually, oh, absolutely, Derek. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Subscribe, man, if you haven't. Oh, you already have. Thank you. And you'll get a note. Again, tomorrow is the pajama party. Should hang out. It'll be fun. So there you go. It is one of the promos that came out. And there's nothing that excites you more. First of all, let's talk minimalism. This is the back of Mike Allstott's rookie card. And that's all I have to say about that. It is black on black. It is a black square that they definitely pulled across their computer screen and slapped on a black background. And then they managed to not even match the blacks. Didn't even match the blacks on the back for color keying. Dream Picks. This, congratulations, you're the lucky winner of a Dream Picks genuine autograph by rookie Mike Allstott. Except he didn't sign it. It was supposed to be out of 1,500. Cool. Yeah, bad back, nice front, except for... listen, Mike Allstott, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you owe me an autograph. It's blank out of 1,500. Could you imagine being a kid and getting this? Yeah. And then these are the last two that I have for you today. It was big back. It was big back in the day. Here's the last one I have for you guys. This is actually one of the coolest things in the world. And I'm going to take these out of the top loaders because I want you guys to get a good view. I have had these for a very long time. These, I got these, I believe, just a couple of years after these came out. These two cards survived the Great Flood that destroyed everything in my collection. These were not acquired later in life. These I actually had. So, really awesome card by Pacific. You know them as the old keepers of Crown. So Jeff Blake was the quarterback. In the lower right-hand corner, you see a clear little photo, much like what our New York State licenses look like. And what was very significant about this card, this was one of the first cards ever made in Braille. How they did that is they put a sticker. It is a raised sticker, and it doesn't have a lot of information on it. It's not, I think it's one sentence, that's it. But these were very, very, very rare. These were not available in everyday packs. These were available kind of like a giveaway. I can't remember if it was a giveaway. It was at a, I believe I got this at a card convention. And I never bothered to translate it from Braille, but I believe it's only a sentence. But this is one of the early Braille cards, even beyond what they did with Action Packed, where Action Packed had the bumps. This one actually had Braille writing on the back, and I thought that was amazing. Because that's inclusion. And we're talking 1996. That is the epitome of inclusion. But the person had another one. I did. I actually swiped it from a blind guy. You figured me out, man. What's going on, Ringa? Shout out, Ringa69. How you doing, friend? Oh, brother, listen. Whenever you get here is exactly the time you're meant to be here, brother. You are always welcome anytime. I'm blessed just having you around. So he's sold this as a set. This is a very similar card. You'll notice the other one was gold. This one is silver. This was meant to be the original base card. However, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't actually jump on the Discord, but I'm going to pull it up right now, man. Now that you're saying that, I'm looking. Oh, whoa. Harrington and Langford. Huh, that is true. So Ringa, it's funny, he posted this and it ties in. I'll show the picture right after this. Um so here's the Jeff Blake. But if you look at the back, yeah. Who's Derek? So since this card was initially supposed to be covered in Braille, they didn't bother clearing the template. And instead, you have the back of somebody else's card. Because, hey, if we're going to cover it in Braille, why would we put the right information on the back anyway? That's just extra work. So these are two of my favorite oddball / error cards that I have in my collection. The reason they survived the flood, the reason they survived the flood is because I had these in my sock drawer because I thought these were the coolest things in the world. I think I bought the pair for $10. I'm sure they're worth probably 85 cents today. But the sheer coolness, the cool factor is way more than that for me. So two different finishes on the front, two completely different backs. Just one of the really cool items that I've collected over my years. Now, Ringa. So, real men play rugby. That is just a fact. Anybody who disputes that is actually categorically wrong. But real men play rugby. Or, in the case of my family, real women play rugby because my sister was a rugby player. Paul Harrigan, Andrew Langford. Now, you'll notice Harrigan on the right, Harrigan on the left, Langford on the right. But when you flip the cards, oh, why, that would be reverse printing. So both of them had the other printed on the back. Just another example of some of the errors that were out there. Era cards. Salute. It's my one for the day. Somebody else just found me. I'm going to get them to visit. There you go. And that's the thing, man. You were 12 when you got them. 28 years later, you still have them. It's the little things. Collecting, this is what makes collecting amazing. Not everyone collects the same things. Everybody finds different things that are cool about collecting. For me, it was oddball cards. Trust me, I could probably bring 300 cards out in my collection that are just not normal, odd inserts. I have about, no joke, I bought, it was 2 years ago, those Upper Deck football. I bought a box for $20, I think. $18. What's up, Q? Going on, Huddle? Devon, I have no idea what you're talking about. There is a sold one of the Braille version for $15 listed on eBay as a 101. Yeah, well, they were wrong. There's Justin. He found me. Yep, they were wrong, because I definitely didn't buy that. Do I have any graded comics? I sure do. I have 2 of them. One of them signed by Stan Lee and the other one not. One of 2. Yeah, that's basically what he's got now. Yeah, I have about 10 to 15 on each. I'll go between 20 and 30 people watching usually. The one that I have I can go get it. You guys want me to go get it real quick? Actually, yeah, let's do a little comic segue. Give me a second. I actually know exactly where it is. It's in a room next to where I am. Intermission. Devon, you have to entertain the 19 people here. If I come back and there's less than 19 people, Devon, you're in trouble. I'm gonna look at you and wag my finger. Just very disappointed, that's right. The grade on this isn't too great. But again, you guys know me. I get things for reasons other than what other people do. Let me open the door a little bit. It's getting a little steamy in here. There we go. So, y'all know me. Most things I'm not interested in the perfect 10. Some things I don't care if it's a perfect 10. I don't care if it's a 2. This is Marvel, excuse me. Marvel Comics 1968, Amazing Spider-Man number 61. It's the first Gwen Stacy cover with a Kingpin appearance. It's a 6.5 grade. Stan Lee. This is my one and only Stan Lee auto that I own. I saw this at a flea market. I was able to get it for a price way lower than what they had listed at. And I love it. It graded down because it actually has a couple of stamps. So this is my favorite piece right here from pretty much anything I own comic book wise. So Stan the Man, it was a good clean sig, certified, not the greatest grade, but I was able to get it for an amazing price. And that's what made it worth it to me. I only own 2 graded comics, believe it or not. Just 2. Ice Wolf, that's what everybody says. The other one, this is actually the first ever graded comic I ever bought. That is the first edition Killing Joke, 9.6. Iconic cover. Iconic. If you can argue. Oh, thanks, Justin. You can argue this is one of the most iconic Joker covers ever. Ever. You could argue that this is the most iconic, period. And that's why I had to own it. I managed to snag this at an auction. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I managed to snag this at, I want to say it was Heritage Auctions. I swear to you, I have the receipt, I can prove it. I managed to snag it for $75. Wasn't a 9.8, it was only a 9.6. The 9.8 sold for, I was like 200. But everyone was going crazy over the 9.8. So I swooped in and grabbed the 9.6 for less than $100. I couldn't say no. So that is the first graded comic I ever bought. Period. These 2 books will never leave my collection. These are permanent additions that the house will have to burn down for me to lose them. But that's not the only autographed one I have. Oh, absolutely. So these are not certified, but they are authentic. Some of them I know who signed them, some of them I don't. There was a company that was going to get into graded comics that basically decided to leave. I do have a show. As a matter of fact, I can show you the show. We can start there if you'd like. It was a company that wanted to get into doing graded comics similar to Hit Parade. However, at the time, they were not going to be doing the yellow tags. They had the graded comics for CGC were going to be still red tagged for unapproved or green tagged, whatever it is. Now CGC is offering the authenticated service where it just says authenticated to say who the person is, and they're getting the yellow tags again. So this company was literally 6 months before CGC made the announcement that they were going to yellow tag autographs. They liquidated these comics. And for, I think it was a total of like 140 bucks. I was able to get that many of them. Some of them are no names. I believe that's De La Torre. Gulasi and Palmati. Yeah, Devon. And it was part of a grab bag. It was part of a grab bag. That's what blew my mind. Mike Carey. That's from Vertigo Comics. And this guy wasn't doing a bunch of signing. He was too busy writing all the Marvel movies. Why, it's Bendis. You may know him as somebody who has written basically all of the modern Marvel movies. Basically have Bendis's thumbprint on them. This is another Bendis auto. That's from Ultimate 6, number 1. Mark Morales. That's a 2007 signature. Let that sink in. It's a 14-year-old signature right there. Bendis and Maleev. Alex Maleev, dual signed. Thou Shall Not Kill, Daredevil. Decalogue Part 5. Absolutely does. This guy, people are familiar with him. I'll give you a hint. Pretty famous other line. Not his best signature. That's right. It's an awful Kirkman, but it is a Kirkman. This is triple signed. Yeah, no, it's just a really bad Kirkman. So I wasn't able to get to the bottom of some of these. So these three, I'm still not 100%. I couldn't find examples, with the exception of, who was it? The one guy on top. Oh, absolutely. The one on top, the JG, whatever that is. What issue number is this? 69? 484? So that person actually signed here with Simone. Now, I was told that Simone auto is actually a really good one. Not 100% familiar with Gail Simone. But somebody said, ooh, Gail Simone, that's actually one you want to hang on to. And it has the JG, it looks like JG Jones almost. And that's from Villains United, from Infinite Crisis #1. Jeff Johns, Olivier Coipel. Yeah, that's definitely Johns. That's definitely Jeff Johns. That's the answer. So it's Jeff Johns and Gail Simone on the other one, too. Oh, Ringa, believe me, I don't either. I just grab stuff. I just grab stuff when I know it needs to be acquired. When I saw these available, I knew I had to acquire them. Even though for me, part of the fun is learning. Like right now, Greek is helping me out. I didn't know who these people were. But yeah, that's definitely Coipel. That's definitely Jeff Johns. So there's Johns and Simone. And then how about Guillory and Lehman? Dual signed Chew, number 38. Trevor, Dame knows comics like you know baseball. So that's actually a cool one. And then this last one is one of my favorite buys. I bought this at a flea market. Now, I'm a big Ghost Rider fan. I was always a huge Ghost Rider fan. And I saw this sitting in a standard box. And I was like, hey, God, that looks like an autograph. Yeah, it's definitely Johns and Coipel then. Appreciate it, man. Let me look at that real quick, and then I'll finish that other story. Johns, that's definitely Coipel. Johns, Coipel, and then the other one, the one in black, is the Oddball. Because that's Olivier Coipel in silver. Maybe that's Landing? Could be. So what drew me to this one is I was just thumbing through. I was just looking for stuff. And the cover caught my eye because, again, I love it. I love it. It's awesome. And then I noticed the girl's butt was signed. Hey, buddy, he's back again. And I was like, hey, there's an autograph on the girl's butt. And I was like, oh, it's autographed. $2. I want my $2. So, yes, that is my $2 autograph. And I even asked the guy at the booth, I was like, hey, do you realize this one's autographed? And he looked at it and was like, no, but I have to give it for you for $2 if you ask me to sell it to you for $2. I was like, can I have it for $2? He's like, yes. I was like, thank you. He's kind of rolled his eyes, and I handed him $2, and I walked away really fast. Yeah, I love that movie. Never touch another man's fries. Never rub another man's rhubarb. Yes, So that's my autograph collection. Eventually, I'll have the time, money, and patience to get them certified. I have a couple more, but we're not going to get into them. I do have the entire run of Vigilante. I have every single issue of Vigilante ever made. Old and modern. Golf clap? Golf clap. Yeah, I've got interesting things. Stuff that's just sitting around that really probably should be graded, but isn't. I heard she's pretty cool. We're actually going to see Adam Warlock soon on the screen. He's part of what's coming. So I have a feeling this book might have a small jump in the near future. Everybody knows this one. Now, mind you, I don't know anything about comics. I'm not pretending. I'm serious. But here's what I do know. I do know if something is in a poly bag, you buy it, even if it's sealed. And I also know that if it has the number 1 on it, you buy it, even if you don't know who it is. That was always my, I was going to retire on my collection of Spawn number 1s. Maybe if they were signed by McFarlane. So I truly, and those who followed me at my old job, no, I really don't know anything about comics. I know a little bit. I know about artists. I don't know about the substance. But I know a deal when I see one. I know storylines that are important. My mustache is all over the place. We may or may not have flat ironed it because it was getting so out of hand. I got to trim it. It's just a hairy mess right now. I need to trim everything. I'm getting shaggy. All this not actually going to, you know, another place for work, this working from home. I've got to get into a better routine about the old shaving. One of the I can tell you, the Spawn number 1 was the first ever comic book I ever bought. I bought that when the series came out. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. Listen, I'm self-employed now, Greek. So cheers. Grab yourselves a nice hard cider if you're allowed to drink. If you're old enough and you're responsible enough, grab one. They're delicious. Otherwise, grab a water because I have water too. But cheers to everybody who's ever wanted to tip one back or had fun late nights with DC and wanted to have a beverage. I can share the occasional beverage with you. The white strip of space behind me? Oh, this? This is the bottom of a shelf. I have a shelf that I can slide in here to isolate vocals over here. Let's take you for a tour. So that dark mass is my isolation booth for vocals. That is just, see if I can, there you go. It doesn't get more isolated than medium density and low density foam. So that shelf, I can add another layer to completely isolate. And believe me, it is quiet recording out of there. No, I didn't get a fan yet, Justin. You're hearing this, and this is purely how it sounds. I do have the door open a little bit, so it's not as quiet as it would be. All right, here we go. Enjoy the silence. Yeah, that's quiet. It's really quiet. Really, really quiet. Deafeningly quiet. She did scream, by the way. Oh my goodness. This is actually a perfect ASMR room. The problem is, nobody wants a fat, bald white guy to do ASMR. They want a hot redhead with certain attributes to get the visual as well as the audio. Just saying. I'm not calling anybody out in particular. And I don't have one of the dual mics that have the ears on it. Yeah, there's Mel. Yep. Yep. Dig it. This is my office. This is my slice of silence. You know what's funny, Doug? They actually shot that movie here. A Quiet Place 2 was shot in Buffalo. Well, a good portion of it. Yeah, even when I'm talking normal, there is no echo at all in here. There is foam on all four sides of me. And then I have a shag rug underneath me. And I got a little bit of foam on the ceiling, just enough to stop some of the bounce. But yeah, I tried to make a soundproof room. I did a decent job. I haven't seen the second one. It is on at the drive-in here in Lockport, though. There is foam on the chair. I think she was just saying, oh, as in she recognized you. There's fireworks going on outside. New York State has finally legalized fireworks over sometime in the last 10 years. So, the grocery stores are selling fireworks, and since the grocery stores started selling fireworks, everybody is shooting off fireworks as soon as it gets dark, because they just can't wait a month. Oh, Doug. My dog is not a fan of fireworks. Thank you, Bolt. What is my favorite movie? I'm so glad you asked. I am gonna talk movies tomorrow during the pajama party. Remember, tomorrow 9 p.m. pajama party. Here, I'm gonna get some popcorn. Even though I'm not a fan of popcorn, I'm gonna do it anyway. We're gonna get our jammies on, and I'm gonna give away something to somebody. A grab bag of stuff to a lucky winner of somebody that posts a picture of them in their jammies watching the stream. And I will give it out at the end of the night on stream. It's going to be a mystery prize pack. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Let's just say it's movie related. Let's say it's a movie prize pack. That is how I will end it. It'll be a surprise when you get it in the mail. You can choose to post it or not. There you go, Benj. Ask JPP how that went. He has something to say about it. DC Parade mystery box. I would never infringe. I would call it something much different. Or rewrite history. That's what I'm going for. God, might solve a mystery or rewrite history. I love it, Doug. You might get like my personal gel pen, one that I used. It's about. I don't have any sealed gel pens. DuckTales. There it is. Sean got it. I love DuckTales. Loved DuckTales. That's right. I was a big Kit Cloud Kicker fan. I almost frightfully mispronounced that. Oh, mamma mia. That was almost a really bad mispronunciation of Kit Cloud Kicker. Darkwing Duck was another one. Love Darkwing Duck. Danger Mouse. Gizmo Duck the robot. Tailspin. Tailspin had Kit Cloud Kicker. That's right. I'm so wrong. Thank you. Yeah, Greek. Oh, I'd have to find myself. I mean, I don't have regulation, but I'd have to find myself. Tailspin had Baloo and Kit Cloud Kicker. That's what it was. In the caboose? The Pig Lady comic. Oh my God, Dame. That was so hard sent in that format. And it was funny because like that is actually a pretty valuable comic. The signature on that was actually that was a pretty good piece, as I was told by Mike. Paw Paw Bears? I don't think I know what that is. Merca and Dolfo. Yep. Yes, took me by surprise. There were a couple of ones that took me by surprise. There was one that we gave out to that one person's son that had like a rogue in a risque pose on the back of a motorcycle. That another one I was like, "Oh, well, congratulations." Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Oh yeah. Absolutely. The Ewok Christmas special. The yeah. The what is it? I made Mel watch part of that. I don't think she got through the whole thing though. I don't think she got through the whole thing. Oh yeah. B. Arthur? Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, there's a really good. They did another follow-up Christmas special. A Lego Christmas special. It's on Disney Plus. It's phenomenal. It's really, really good. You have to watch it. It is really good. And almost all of the people from the original one that are still alive, with a couple of exceptions, are part of this one, and it has to do with the same day. But if you haven't seen the Lego Christmas special for Star Wars, it's so good. Oh, Lego, I hope I like to think that Lego has a say in how they make the shows because yes, everything Lego does um, in the TV realm is hilarious and brilliant and so funny that if you're a fan of Legos and you're a fan of those particular franchises, you will absolutely enjoy them thoroughly. Oh yeah, they did. Jumping the timelines and everything was really funny. Mr. Belvedere. I used to watch Mr. Belvedere. Yeah, he would sit down in his chair. Speaking of Belvedere, pretty good vodka. It is a wheat vodka made by the same people who make Chopin vodka. Chopin is a potato vodka. I used to be a wine specialist and did spirits. That is true. Doug is a Lego artist. Yeah. He goes around with Gorilla Glue and he will slather a 2x2 square with Gorilla Glue and stick it to the back of bald people's heads and then run away. It's very avant garde and edgy. Oh, goodness, Benj. You're legit. I've done everything. I was a very restless soul. Back in the day, I would do something for 6 months. I'm like, I've mastered this. I'm gonna go on to the next thing. Yeah, I love Legos. Doug, we'll have to hang out and we'll have to do a Lego piece. I have an idea. Here we go, Doug. Doug, buddy, pal, friend, compadre, amigo. Here's what we're gonna do. This is an art installation piece. We are gonna get a. We're gonna measure a standard hallway. Let's go. I don't know. 15 feet. 15 feet long. 15 feet long. Will go about 4.5 feet wide, maybe 5 feet wide. So 5 foot by about 15 feet. I'm not your homie, buddy. Thank you. Dan H. Hey, I know Dan H. Here's what we're going to do. I'm telling you, this is going to be great. This is going to be an art piece. It's going to be an installation. We're going to take a 5 foot by 15 foot canvas, like a thicker canvas, not one necessarily for painting, but one almost like a drop cloth. We're going to cover the entire surface of that in about 1.5 inch thick coating of some type of like rubber epoxy. And right before it dries, we are going to take 666 Legos that are no more than 1x1s, 1x2s, or 2x2s. And we are going to just throw them haphazardly on that surface. And then when it dries, we are going to lay that out in a hallway. And the name of the art installation will be A Parent's Pain by Doug in DC. I know, it's genius. There's an artist inside me, right here. DC Artworks. DC Squared Artworks. Call it DC Squared. Oh, speaking of, did anybody hear the rumor about the next Lego set to break the record? Because me and Mel did, from one of the guys that works at Lego at the mall. What if I told you they're thinking about an 11,000 piece fully opening and articulated full-sized Death Star? The rumor, there are 2 sets right now. There are 2 sets that are up for debate, they said. Well, this will be available. 11,000 piece Yo Mama's House. Full size, as in like they will be full sized characters, not the minifigs, but the full sized characters. So we're talking a gigantic Death Star that will open and have the different things in there. Now, they do have a smaller one. They're looking at making kind of like they made the Millennium Falcon, the full-sized one where everything is size accurate. They're talking about a Death Star one. Now, obviously, the Death Star was the size of a planet, so a person is tiny. But they're saying this one will have enough space so that the characters can be placed in their positions, in full-sized rooms that are accurate. But they're saying over 11,000 pieces. a Death Star. The current one that's available to everybody is the Coliseum. That one is, I think, 10,000. Yeah, it's definitely not a 1-to-1 size. I misspoke, Doug. I'm sorry. Yeah, Benj. There's one that is a 5,000. They wanted to actually go full detail, like with the Millennium Falcon. The way they upsized the Millennium Falcon, they want to do the same thing with the Death Star. Small moon. That's right. That's true. It's no bigger than Pluto. Oh, goodness. You know it's a bad day when science cancels Pluto. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The largest current Lego set is now the map. Yep. Yeah, the one leading up to it was the Coliseum they released about 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, they had the Coliseum at the. So we go to the Galleria Mall here in Buffalo. They have a Lego store there. So we get everything from there, and if we can't find it there, we just buy it online directly from Lego. Occasionally, Target has some of the sets we're looking for. But yeah, the map is over 11,000. I did see that one. That is that one the dots, individual dots? Is that just the dots? You have two Millennium Falcon sets. Is it the discontinued one or the one they currently have? Because the discontinued one is worth a small fortune. It's there you go, Scotch. Yeah, that one's actually pretty nice. I got to kind of stick my head inside of it. That's a pretty awesome set, the Coliseum, by the way. The original Lego wood blocks. I imagine those are hard to come by. Yeah, we just found a we just found a website that has reliable information about what's coming and what's being retired. I didn't understand and know the concept of retiring sets and how expensive those sets were. My goodness, the instant something gets retired, if it's below $100, immediately double the price. And if it's above $100, basically add another $200 to it once it retires. Lego people, you don't mess with Lego people. They are not messing around. Yeah, Doug, I'll have to come visit you soon, and I'll have you show me your Legos. Oh, Justin, it's a legit thing. If something is rumored to be being retired, you'll see it fly off the shelf. If it's like one of the major franchises, a lot of the smaller stuff nobody cares about. But like talking like franchise stuff, soon as that stuff is announced that it's going to be retired, it starts moving. What is going on, Bourbon's girlfriend? Hey, Bourbon. I just saw your girlfriend. Any reason I have to blast the music to hear you? No idea. Happy Friday. Reminder, we're actually going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. Reminder, tomorrow is the pajama party. Pajama party. It's so low. Maybe it's you. I'm at my levels look good. Hold on, wait. How about now? Is that a little bit better? Me turning that knob make it a little bit better for everybody? You let me know. Way better? It's not too loud, is it? Well, gee, how come it took this long for people to figure that out? Come on, people, let me know. I figured out the left-right issue. I figured out the cutout 15 issue. Should have told me I just needed a little bit more gain. I got gain for days. Yeah, it's true, Justin, but you're also a sound guy. You hear things that not everyone else does. Le goat. I think I knew that, Doug. I didn't know the actual Danish term, but I think I remembered it. It meant play well. Oh, thank you, thank you. Today's video was about oddballs and errors in cards. I figured I'd wear one of my oddball flower shirts. I'm gonna go to a Blue Jays game eventually. I need to do some other things first. Yeah, Justin went Tuesday. Yeah, I saw somebody at a sign. Toronto blew a 3-1 lead, and Buffalo stole your baseball team. How does it feel to be Toronto now? All right, Bolt. You come on down, or come on up, or come on over, wherever it is. Lego. Yeah, yep. It was sitting like right behind between the home behind home plate, between home plate and the home dugout. Bolt, I saw yours. I was busy pulling all the cards for the show, or else I would have joined too. But I did get it. I was gonna say I'm not in New York City. I'm way far away from New York City. I'm like the opposite of New York City. I'm basically southern Canada. It's pretty boring here, especially where I live in Lockport. Oh, he was on the away side? Oh, I thought he was on the home side. I haven't been in that park forever. What's going on, Jordan? How are you doing, friend? Buffalo Bison's game in 1996. 1996, I was probably at that game. In my youth, it was like $12 to go sit in the bleachers, $2 for a hot dog. My son is Sith. James is a big fan of Kylo Ren. Huge Poe Dameron fan, though, too. So it kind of evens out a little bit. Well, excellent. I'm happy for you. Vacations are very important. You have to have me time. If you run out of me time, and I'm not an expert, Bourbon is, so Bourbon can choose to agree with this or not. If you don't have me time, you don't have any time at all. You have to balance work, family, and yourself. And you do have to separate yourself from the family. Me time is very important. See, there you go. I got a professional that says I'm telling the truth. And then I have an amateur that says I'm telling the truth too. No, I'm kidding, Jordan. Yeah. Yep. All right, so I have to ask, who's actually going to participate in the pajama party tomorrow? Give me a show of hands. Who is actually going to participate, either on the Discord or through Instagram or whatever? Bills Miami is always a good time. See, Bolton. Abby is literally raising her hand. I see you, Abby. I see you. All right, Ringa's in. Ringa, it'll be like noon. It'll be noon on a Sunday for you, my friend. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's okay. I told everybody. It's like 1 p.m. All right. It sounds good. It sounds good. So tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to throw on some jammies. If you don't wear jammies, then go ahead and, don't, listen, ladies, don't send me pictures of you topless. My wife will divorce me, and then I will be forced to do this out of the back of a van down by the river. And that's just a sad state of affairs. So, please have some top on. I don't want to be living in a van down by the river. And I'll have you either send a snap down by the river. You'll be living in a van down by the river. All right, thanks, Justin. Then you'll upload your photo to Instagram if you're on Instagram with a photo of you in your jammies. Sure does, Benj. Family friendly. Yeah, that's right. Send them to Doug and Trevor. Those you can send the topless photos to them. I love you, man. So you'll post a picture of you watching the stream to Instagram. If you don't have it, if you don't have Instagram, I recommend getting it just for this because it'll be worth it. Make sure you tag me in it, DC the Breaker, and then everybody will get together, and we will. You don't have Instagram, then you can upload it to. How about our Discord? Let me make sure. Here's what I'll make sure, because I don't know if it's on right now. Let me see. Let me pull up Twitch and YouTube. Let me add the Discord to that. Doing work. All right, somebody do me a favor. Cut and paste our Discord in the chat so I can cut and paste it and not have to look it up. Because I'm lazy. All right, that's this. There it is. Thank you. Oh, that's my Patreon. Where's the Discord? Ooh, I just screwed that up. There we go. That was weird. There we go. Now I can stop it. Sorry about that. Thanks, Bolt. So there's the Discord. I'm still learning about Discord. I'll be going live for a while. I mean, how's this? How about you even can just show me post a picture of you, post a picture of you watching the video, Ringa, and I'll postpone the drawing excuse me, for a day. And I'll actually do the drawing next Thursday. How does that sound? That way everybody gets an opportunity. It's only fair. Because, I'm for the people. I'm going to in a second, Greek. All right, if you're on Twitch, you can go to the Twitch. The Discord is now linked to the Twitch page. Let me work on YouTube. Almost done. Your birthday is tomorrow, or it's next? Oh, your birthday's next Thursday. That's right. You said that. I remember. Oh, I stay away from Facebook, Brent. That's why, if you'll notice, I'm not streaming on Facebook. If I streamed on Facebook, I'd have probably another 20 or 30 people on here. I just want to. I don't want to deal with the issues I had with Facebook when I was working at my last place. All right, my YouTubers, please go to my YouTube page. You will now see the Discord on the page. Excellent. I love it, Ringa. I love it. Always. I will bolo. I will definitely bolo for you, Doug. All right, so Twitch and YouTube now have the Discord on there. So join the Discord. I am terrible with Discord. It's I'm not going to be on there a ton, but I am going to be peeking on there more and more. Now that I see how cool it is. So that'll be one way that you can kind of get in touch with me all the time. But don't expect a prompt reply. I am juggling so much right now. It's kind of tough, and I don't want to sound like a prima donna, but it's a lot right now. So I will respond as I can. I will do my best. But I am trying to help launch a business and pay rent and be a dad and a husband. So it's a little bit busy right now. I cannot wait till James starts school. All right. How dare you not respond in 5 minutes? When James goes to school in a couple months, my goodness, I'm going to have a ton of time to be able to do more content and more work. So right now it's just tough. Very tough. I will post I'll probably post a video. I'll post a video about the pajama party, and we'll do a little giveaway, have some fun. Actually, Trevor, I'm leaving too, buddy. I love you. Take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. But yeah, I'm actually about to hit the 2-hour mark, and nobody's gonna watch 2 hours of me, unless I'm breaking something. The views on my videos are not very high because there's really no reason to watch these other than to catch up with the chats. So there you go. That's exactly what I need to do. I need to hire my wife, and then I need to charge her for being my manager too. Anyway, with that said, 2 hours in, so I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna do probably watch some Bluey. Season 2 is finally here in the U.S. If you don't know who Bluey is, go to Disney Plus, turn on Bluey. Bluey is from our friends in Australia. It's the best cartoon in the world. Bluey and her sister and her mom and dad are dogs, and they're the funniest people in the world. Her dad is a role model for me, so I'm telling you, absolutely watch Bluey. I think it's what we're gonna do. An auto from the Steve Aoki? Yeah, sure. If you send it, I will. Do you need me to do that tonight, or can I do that tomorrow? Excuse me. Are you not a Steve Aoki fan? I used to be a club kid. I used to be in the scene. I used to be in the the Orlando breakbeats scene. Huge fan of the Orlando breakbeat scene. And back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was a huge part of that scene. I knew a lot of people back then, but I won't get into any of those stories. Anyway, I'm going to let everybody go. Um, as always, as always, I love each and every one of you. It's true. I'm here because you're here right now, and I appreciate it. I really do. You guys are the best. Right now is a difficult time. Very soon, there is going to be an announcement that is going to bring things back to normal again. And the dynamic is going to be there again. And I appreciate you coming along on this journey right now when I have very little to offer you but myself and my own collection of ideas and fun. And I'm glad you all are getting to know me a little bit better as a person, and I can unload some of the details and opinions that I had before and wasn't allowed to. So thank you. I appreciate you. I really do, and I love you. I want you all to take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, because if you're not here, then I have no purpose for being in front of this camera. Take care of each other, because you know what? Listen, not everybody can take care of themselves. Sometimes it's okay to have a helping hand. So if you see somebody that needs help, help them. It's all about helping yourself and helping each other. So be safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Pajama party. I will be rocking my matching jammies. Absolutely, Ringa, 100%, buddy. Thank you so much. I will see you